The whole idea about Mazi is to really express the experience that I had and express my investment philosophy, and also start a company that would empower a lot of black talent. It's a tough industry from a transformation point of view, and for me, I wanted to give back some of the skills that I've earned from these large organizations and train some of these youngsters, especially guys trying to break into the financial services industry, given that it's a tough industry and it's not easy to break in. The way we invest money, we really like to buy companies that are well managed. We look at management teams of these companies that we invest in, and we believe that if you have good managers, they'll take an ordinary company and make it an extraordinary company. Whereas bad management can take a good company and make it a horrible company. The guys that I brought into the business, I gave them shares into the business, so I think I've got a big drive and believe that if you give people ownership in something, they look after it as if it's their own. For example, I like using the example of a hired car. So if you're driving a hired car versus your own car, you look after your own car, but not necessarily a hired car. So I want people that come and work at Mazi to feel that they're owners of the business, to feel that they're building a business together with me, not to feel that they're working for me, for example. So I've got a big sense of ownership, and I think the guys that have come into the business have been given that sense that they part own the business. They are building something for themselves, they're building wealth for themselves, and that's how I've been able to nurture this talent, give them freedom, and also to give them a sense of ownership. We've done enough in SA. We've created ourselves a good name, and we've got a great track record and a good brand. It's very obvious and logical for us to start attracting offshore money, especially with Africa. The most exciting thing about Africa is that if you look at the demographics of Africa, they're the best in the world in terms of young population. We've got 1.1 billion people. The GDPs are growing at 5% plus, given the low basis. Infrastructure development is still at its infancy. So we really are very excited. We think that South Africa is in a great position where you're at the tip of Africa, but you've got infrastructure, whether it's roads, whether it's transportation, rail, airports, and you've got power, enough power, and then you've got internet. If you compare that to other parts of Africa, and we literally can be the hub, if not the gateway of Africa. So we are 55 million people in South Africa with 1 billion people next to us. So whatever we produce, whether it's goods that we manufacture that we can export into the continent, the skills that we have that we can export into the continent, the banking products, our banks are getting into the continent. So we're really in a fortunate position. We've done it, and we can share it with the rest of Africa.